Okay, so let us continue with the project and now jump into LangChain. So I will make myself a little bit smaller. And I have been playing around and talking with Gemini about like how is LangChain actually operating and what are the different components which I can do. And so then I came here, I created this like Lang practice. And then we also have our main one, which is like this Python script right here. And this is the one that's going to get invoked from our Flask server, which is here. I really should call this like main or app or something. But okay, so now in today's video, what I want to do is actually start writing out some functions for it. And being able to play around with things. So the first thing that I think that we need to do is actually add another Docker container, and we need Olama. So that's going to be another thing that we're doing, but I think obviously we're not going to run it from ourselves. And what I mean by that is we're not going to like create the container ourselves. I think we'll use a standard one, but I'm going to come and it was talking about kind of how I might be able to go about doing that. Because I was talking about it right here, right? So we have a service, Olama, right here, and then listens on this port. And then we also, this will be the first time in this project that we introduce volumes. And then this should have depends on, yep, okay, cool. So now this kind of like, let's maybe go and start implementing this. So what I want to do is within my, I'll make this smaller, like that, there we go. Okay, so now we should be able to see, oh great, now it's going to try to give me codecs. Okay, hold on. Goodbye. Okay, there we go. Cool. So now what we're going to do is try to adjust this. And we'll actually need to, I want to adjust and create a new Docker compose and, or maybe a new build script. So we'll need to figure out how we want to do this. And the idea is I want a testing one that I can just do like testing for Olama and not need to go and build the entire project, right? So for this one, project is equal to LLM monitor. Now, where does this get the Docker compose, right? Is it just based off of path? Server, hold on, let me look at the this Docker compose. Is there anything that says like specifically? No. Okay, that's just the name of it. But anyways, so let's create another service, right? And we're gonna call this one, just like it is here, Olama, right? Okay, that makes sense. And we're going to get this out. And then that way we can understand every line that we write. Okay, cool. So now the image is going to be from Olama latest. Okay, and the other question that we're going to have is what actual model do we want to use? My computer is very, very not powerful. My MacBook, it works wonderful for like doing your everyday normal stuff, but not very powerful in terms of like CPU. I don't even think do I have a GPU? I have no idea. It's probably like a CPU GPU integrated maybe. I don't know. It's the M1 chip. Yeah, I think it's the M1. I think this is the one before or after they transitioned. But anyways, it's not very powerful, and it also doesn't have a lot of memory, like disk space. The on my computer, the system memory and like the OS memory literally take up over half of my disk space. I'm like, oh my goodness, I have nothing to work with here. I should have gotten a little bit more powerful of a MacBook, but I didn't know it at the time. But anyways, let's okay, so image and container name is going to be Olama service. Okay. Ports. Now the ports are going to be for the standard Olama port numbers, which is 11434, and we're just mapping that over to the 11434, and I guess we're passing this as a string. Okay. Like that. Sure. And now, all right, volumes is going to be Olama data here, and now root.olama. Okay, now I have not dealt with volumes very much in Docker, and so today is an opportunity to go and actually learn about that. So we have this, but this was kind of just a stub. Okay, so now instead of services, we're going to need volumes here. Volumes. And Olama data. Okay. So I guess okay, all of this, can I get any useful information out of that? I'm not sure. But so my server is actually not working right now, right? Like there's a lot of things that are not working in my server. I don't even want that to run right now. So all I want to do is I want to get I want a build script, right? So let's come here and just do like new chat, sure. Okay, so I want to say I have a Docker, or I have a what? A folder containing a Docker file that will that works with LangChain. Okay. I now want to have a Docker compose. Okay. I want to have a Docker compose file that will allow me to start up both the LangChain component and an Olama component. I want to have Olama such that it uses a very small, lightweight LLM model because my MacBook is not very large. Okay. Here is my current startup script. Okay. Like this. And now I'll just put the startup script in here. Where did it go? Build script. Oh, here's my current build script. build script like this. But the problem with this one is that I want a different way to only start up the LangChain and Llama without messing without needing to start up the entire project. And then I'll say here is my current Docker compose file. So I'll copy and paste the Docker compose and then say, but I don't know if the Llama one is actually working. This document is more me working with it. I'll just say for the first time trying to get things to work. That way it understands kind of the framing. And then the Docker compose, or then my Docker file, I'll say, here is my Docker file for the LangChain container. Okay. And then here is one of the files in my LangChain folder. Okay, so we'll see how it does that. Right now, I really just want to get, I really want to get into just working with the LangChain. There's so much that we've been setting up, like this .NET server, these Docker file, all of this, right? Like, let's just go. Okay, yes, this is what I want. Okay, or let's just do the 0.05 billion. Okay, so update the Docker compose. You don't need a separate file to isolate services. You can just tell Docker compose to target specific services. However, we'll refine your configuration to make Llama pull the model automatically on startup. Okay, so this is that one. So what is this one right here? This helper service pulls the model into the shared volume. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, so let's come here and let's do that, I guess. Okay. So, Llama pull model. I say image is curl latest. Container name is Llama pull model. Okay, and then it depends on our Llama here, this service, right? And now we're going to say the entry point is going to be, so we want to do sh, so we're invoking the shell script, right? And passing an argument of C and curl, okay, minus S, and then this thing here, this one, whoa, okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to copy and paste this. Okay, so all the way here. Okay, so where did this start? From here, and like that. Okay, so we're getting this. Okay, cool. So now the LangChain service environment. Okay, so we're changing container name here. Ports is this, and now we need, okay, environment is going to be equal to llama base URL, and that's equal to, okay, now HTTP llama and then that port number, so 11434. Okay, cool. Depends on, and then llama. So we're gonna give this as an environment variable, and we're going to do, instead of localhost, it's going to be llama, because that's what we need to pass in, or that's the Docker inbuilt network, right? Okay, and then volumes here. Okay, cool. So this Docker build context cannot navigate to a parent directory. Okay, so it does not like that I have in here that I did this. So, okay, yeah. I just was doing like test environment variables to make sure that things would not be pushed up. And so, anyways, come to my Docker file, and so just remove that because it's going to take this environment variable. Okay, cool. So targeted run, no script changes needed. To start only your LangChain and Llama components without spinning the document, you simply append the service name to your Docker compose command. What? So Docker compose. Okay. To start only your LangChain and Llama components without spinning up the server or database, you simply append the service names to your Docker compose commands. But I don't, I guess I can do that from the script. So this build script, right? And so build LangChain. But what I'm worried about is when it's trying to like build the things, it's going to continually make my like not destroy the dangling pointers, or not dangling pointers, but like dangling images or whatever. Okay, to answer your question, do we need okay, so you cannot use localhost. Okay. So now what we're gonna do, I just want to get this up and running. This is so annoying that we need to deal with all of this like starter stuff. It's almost been a week and we're just dealing with all of this starter stuff. Okay, so I'm just gonna say, can you give me a script that I can use to start up my start up the services I need I am worried about my system getting cluttered with stale items in Docker when I am running them. And then just call this test start up.sh. Okay, that's going to be question number 1. And now let's just assume that it works. Let's assume that it works, and now let's start going to LangChain. Okay, so there's 2 things that we are going to be doing here. And so now let's invoke LangChain. Now the other thing is, from my Docker Compose, I'm going to be having I need some way to actually be able to get it to invoke a method, right? Or invoke a function. But I don't have that capability right now because I'm listening on Flask here. So I can get into the port, I can get into the local host. So within my LangChain container, how can I actually interact with it from my host computer? I have Flask running on it, but is there a different way which you might suggest? Okay, so base URL. All right. So now what do I want to do? I want to get a way to be able to just test a response, right? Return model. So I guess I can do lang practice here. And now just do def testing method like this. And now we can do want to import this, right? And let's see what else. So base URL is equal to os.getInv olama base URL. So we're getting our environment variable, right? And we're mapping it to whatever. Okay, at this point, I'm just doing that. Okay, so now what I can do is I can come here and invoke my model, right? Is equal to chat olama, and model is going to be equal to this Quinn 2.5, okay? And then we're going to do the 1.5 billion parameter, sure, whatever. Okay, so now base URL is equal to base URL, and now temperature is equal to 0. Okay. And now we should be able to do, we should be able to hit this, and I want to return something, right? I want to be able to invoke it. very similar to what we're doing here, right? So I get my model, and then from this I do okay, so prompt template and then string parser. So each of those were called components. Okay. And so now I need to get those components and put them together. So now I need to get the components and put them together. Okay, so now I will do, what do I want? Chain is equal to, and then it was the messages, like prompt template, okay, is equal to prompt template from messages. Prompt template, no. So come here. So prompt template is equal to prompt chat prompt template dot from messages, right? And this is going to mean that I pass in a list of these. Okay. A list here, and it's going to be like this, and say system is going to be, so this is what the like system prompt. So I will say you are, I'm just going to do a standard one, helpful agent who loves poems. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to say user is asking a question, and this will be passed in eventually, right? But for now, I'm just going to say, what is your favorite time of year? Okay, so we got that. Now the chain is going to be this prompt template, and we're overloading this, and now we do it goes to the model and then goes to this like string output parser. Okay, and now we're going to get the text. So what we can do is come in here and do, what was it? Response is equal to chain.invoke. And I don't think we need to pass anything in right now. And then just print response, because this is going to be a string, because this is a parser, returns the string. And then return. Okay, so now I will say this right here. I'll say number 3. Here is my file in my folder for LangChain. I want to be able to invoke it. I want to be able to invoke it from my host machine after I run that script. Invoke it. Okay, specifically right now, I want to be able to hit the testing method and eventually be able to pass in an actual message to that method. Okay. Then get the response back so I can see that it is working correctly. Okay. Oh, and I didn't paste it. Oh, come on. Man. Alright, this one. Awesome. You know what? You are just gonna go in here. So this one is gonna be test start up .sh. I'll investigate this later. Obviously with this thing I don't really want AI generated code, but at this point I just want to get something that's kind of working. Get rid of all this nonsense. Okay. There we go. So startup script. We'll do that later. We'll get rid of it, or we'll change things later or investigate it. So sudo chmod +x on test start up sh. Okay, there we go. So running a framework like Flask is actually the standard way of interacting. Okay. You must tell Docker to bind. Okay, so implementing the test endpoint. So to be able to do this, we need to. All right. So now I guess what I can do is try to. I'll say. Okay. So let's see how it says to do this. All right, so let's go into Flask, right? It's this one. So we're going to have a route which is just test. Okay, cool. So that does not conflict yet. Okay. Def is test endpoint. Okay. So this one is going to be annotated with app.route, and the route that we're going to do is test. Okay, cool. And it's going to be a post. It's equal to here as post. Okay, cool. So now what do we want to do? Data is equal to, so we're going to get on the request body, get JSON or an empty dictionary. Okay. And now from this, we should be able to get, yeah, the user ID and the message, right? That makes sense. User ID is equal to data.get, and then user ID. So I'm going to need to, in the HTTP body, pass that over, right? And we're going to do, okay, so default user, I'm guessing that that's just a default value. Anyways, message is equal to data.get. Okay, cool. Now, what we want to do, must bind to this. Yeah, okay, cool. So we already got that. Now, this, let's just say that this is, okay. So now, result is equal to, and then here's where we are able to do it, test, what did I call it in LangChain practice? Testing method, okay. So testing method, I did import it, right? Okay. Testing method, okay, and then user ID and message, okay. And then we need to return, or can I pass in, okay. So right now I'm just going through this very quickly, but success, right? User ID, right? Okay. Input received. Here is input received, okay, and agent response is going to be result. Okay. I guess, especially since we're troubleshooting this, we should actually implement the, so try here, okay, accept exception as E, and then turn status is error, message is, then we just stringify that, okay. E, okay, and then outside of this we return 500. Okay, cool. Do we think it's gonna work? I have no idea. I need to pass those variables in, right? So I'm gonna just say user ID and user message, right? Okay. So how to run and verify it so I can do this post thing. Okay. Okay, cool. So let's come here and let's try it. I have no idea if this is gonna work. I really have no idea. So let's run, let's commit first attempt at getting a test environment so I can work with LangChain. Okay, let's, now that we did that, let's come in here and do test startup script and let's see if it runs. I don't even know if it's gonna run. Some coffee. All right. So I saw something with Olama. And yeah, so there's a lot of things that I'm probably going to also keep another thing like, I'm gonna say okay, there, it's pulling the image. I see that, that's good news. Concepts I need to review Markdown. Okay. So the first one is going to be Docker volumes. Second one is going to be tear down / build up of Docker components without cluttering system. Okay. What's another one that I'm kind of like how the start up build scripts are interacting with the Docker containers. Okay. So it's still pulling this. Looks like it's has 1 more gigabyte left. Okay. And so now from this, we should be able to hit it with the curl command. And hopefully that will be okay. So now, I don't know, that doesn't look like a very good thing. So we did that, and now I'm going to do this. Okay. And then, safe. Okay, cool. Awesome. So now what I'm going to do is copy and paste this entire thing into there. So from here. All right, there we go. Copy you and paste you into there. And then say, okay. So I'm going to go and do my thing here, right? Copy you, paste you, and it should be smart enough to know what's kind of happening here. And my Docker compose here, Docker compose there, and I also want my this one like this, like that in there. Okay, so yeah, we'll see what it says, and then just try to fix it. Because Flask was looking for main.py, but it couldn't map the end. Okay. So, okay, correct. So it doesn't like this, it likes this one. That's fine. That's fine. PAR, whatever. So that's this one here. Okay, whatever. This invoke call doesn't have any placeholder values. Okay, so I need to, even though I'm not doing anything, I need to just pass in a empty dictionary. Okay, that makes sense. Update this to import. I was hoping that it, oh, come on. I was hoping that it would just import everything if I did. Okay, apparently not. Whatever. So from lang import So actually this is going to be from lang practice import test method. Okay. Right now I am just trying to get it to kind of work. Successfully. Okay, so this is more just like, okay. So like that, let's try it again, I guess. Okay. Okay, let's see if it, let's see how long this takes, because we'll see if we need to like download everything, including the that model, or if the script, or if the layers or caches, or kind of how that's working. Okay, I can move myself up here again. Maybe like that. I don't know. Okay. So what if I do like Docker PS, right? Okay, so we do have Docker containers running, right? I love how it formats that. That's so helpful. Okay. Docker images? Is that a command? Okay, cool. So it looks like we're good there. Okay. And now let me try to hit that curl command. And we'll see what we get, right? Oh, so it's not failing immediately. That is good news. That is very good news. So my computer, let's see if it's getting hot. I'm also worried because, so my computer right now, I'm filming a video while doing Olama, while running multiple Docker containers, while doing an LLM. So obviously I am a little bit concerned about all of that being kind of like done at the same time. Okay. Can you test my setup? All right. So as you can see, like it's taking extremely long. I might need to go. I know that there's some ways that you can kind of make it a little bit better. Like you can keep it in memory. Okay. So while it's doing that, I'm gonna come here and I create like implementation notes, and so I'm gonna add that as an implementation note while this is doing its thing. So improve speed. I remember that I can load a model into memory and keep it there, assuming that your hardware has enough space in RAM to be able to keep that Olama model in there. This dramatically reduces the time needed each chat to get a response back. Okay. So that's one thing. I don't even know if this is going. Like, I have no idea if it's even working. I'm not getting an error, but it's taking forever. Okay. Yeah, I have no idea. Um, so, I mean, that's one of the problems with working with really like not great hardware is that it's really difficult to do iterative testing because you're not iterating very fast. Although I am seeing that I'm doing this and I'm seeing that my video feed is kind of choppy, which indicates that I think the LLM is actually working because that means that my system is doing other stuff. And I do feel that it is getting a little bit hot. So hopefully that's a good sign. It's not very hot though. It's not like I remember I was in the past when I was in college, I was doing like actual training because I was trying to train LLMs. This is before ChatGPT even came out. This is like when AI, I'm very, woo, okay. Um, let's see. You are still doing that. I'm gonna come here and see if I can do a new terminal. And let's see. Get status. Let's just. Do we want to add this all yet? Before I commit, actually, I do want to see if it works or not. I have no idea if it's gonna work. Okay. But I mean, this looks good, right? Copy that. So this is what I have so far. I think it might be working, but the system is taking really, really long. I think it might be because I am running on a MacBook Air M1. So far, I have been waiting for about 2 minutes. I'm gonna just post that. Okay. So, yeah, we didn't get an immediate crash. Okay, so the hangups is still downloading. The container has only been up for 7 days. Pull if LangChain attempts to invoke a model. Okay, so let's copy this, put it into this one. Okay. Okay, so cause B doesn't run anything. Return none. Okay. So that's not good. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to post this to it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What the heck is all this? So I'm just gonna do a little bit of this. So I'm gonna say when I do my docker log command, before shutting everything down, I get this. Okay. So now I'm gonna shut this off, right? So we're gonna get out of U. And now I actually am going to commit this. So git status, it should be all ready, lined up. Yep. Okay, so git commit attempted to okay, so what do I want to say? Successfully started up LangChain component container, there we go, container, and Olama container, let's say I think. I did not get an immediate crash when I sent the curl command, but I did not get a response back. Okay. Alright, so we're going to get that. And now we'll go back into here and try to fix this one. Okay, so now we'll try to fix what's happening here. So we need to return an actual... Okay, so this is the testing method, and this one is... I'm coming here, and my test is expecting what? Result, which is going to be a string, I guess. Okay. Okay. So, I'm guessing that I'll need to come in here and... hold on, let me go check the logs, actually. Did it, writing manifest, status is success. I don't know what this is referring to, though. So let's just, this should be a, response should be a string, I think, right? Yeah. Okay, so verifying my setup here. Okay, so now let me just rerun this, right? So I want to come here and I want to rerun this command here. Okay. This command here where it was like test startup script, okay? So I'm going to do all of this. Okay. Alright. Now, another thing that I'm curious about is it's like doing all of the pip installs. Every single time, do we need to do that? So that'll be concepts I need to review, and then, or maybe implementation. Yeah. I can say like Docker build commands. I noticed that I am constantly doing the pip install commands. Okay. Each time I run my start up script, I need to investigate if this is something I can optimize. So the idea behind this one right here is eventually I am going to go and just have Claude look at it and say like, hey, look at my implementation notes, right? These are just ideas that I had. and then look at my project and then see, did I miss anything? And if so, just tell me about it and then I can go and implement it, right? Okay, so now I should be able to do the curl command. So that's another thing in my concepts I need to review. Here is going to be, what will this be? This will be, there seems to be a, I'll just say I was told that I need to wait until Docker has fully started up and gotten all of, and I can't see what I'm writing, gotten all of the information it needs before I attempt to invoke things. I was told that I can look at the logs to see this, but I don't understand the underlying concept of what is failing, why it is failing, or how to use the logs to determine the state of the system. Okay, there we go. So we got that. And now let's try to do the curl command, right? Actually, let's do this this here. Okay. So I'm gonna come here and say, I'm gonna copy you and then say, here is the Docker command, here's the Docker logs that, here's the Docker logs before, how can I say this? After I changed the return of the test method, but before I did the curl command. Okay, like that. And now number 2 is going to be, I'll show it the actual curl command, right? So come here and let's try this curl command. All right, let's see if it works. Okay, so now it's going to be doing this, and it's going to be taking its time. I wish I had something faster. Okay, while it's deciding to have fun right now, maybe we go and look at this. I don't know. Okay, so what are we trying to do here? I'm trying to get back into the headspace. I already had Claude analyze a lot of my weaknesses here, so I can kind of delete these comments. Okay, so I don't need you anymore, right? And now what I want to do is, oh my goodness. So I write a lot of comments because I'm purposefully trying to get Claude to be able to see like my thought process. But okay. A lot of context switching right now. Okay. So now, okay, the other thing is I really need to, so concepts I need to, or should I do it on this one? So I'll say vector databases, and so vector databases and what else? Docker volumes. Okay, so I will need to investigate how Docker is instantiating volumes and how all of this works. I will need multiple databases. As of now, I know that I will at least need one vector database, and I will need at least one standard SQL database for what? One standard SQL database for storing telemetry data. Okay. Of requests. I will probably need more databases than this, but that is what I am immediately seeing. Okay. As a need. Okay. So it's still not doing this, right? It's still going like this. And so I'm going to say after running the curl command like this here, and I'll do the Docker logs. So I'm going to come here and do Docker logs, and we'll see about this. So we'll see what's going on and see if we can find something out. Okay, the main thing to note here is the last terminal output you provided. Okay, the prompt ends right there. Okay, isn't returning the value. For endpoint looks something like this. All right, let's do this. Let's Control C this. What is the state of things right now? So I'll say thought of new concepts I need to review and attempted to get a successful LangChain invocation. Did not vocation from a curl command, but so far I am not seeing the response. Okay. All right, cool. So now what I want to do is look at my server, because apparently that is probably what's going on. So I'm returning this, and I get agent response, right? Since your log showed this, Olama pulled them. Okay. So I should be able to do this. Here is my current Flask, do you see why the problem might have occurred? Okay, so I'm gonna paste that in. Oh my goodness, this is taking a very long time. But oh, what I was saying is, so yeah, I remember on my computer when I was working to try to train LLMs myself. So I was doing like, um, specifically, I was trying to train a neural network to be able to do like image recognition on the MNest data set for like hand-drawn numbers. So this is long before ChatGPT ever was in the public idea of what AI meant. AI at that time was like image classifications, doing neural nets, suggestion, like YouTube suggestions, stuff like that. Um, but when I was doing those things, I was trying to do it on my MacBook and it was horrible. Luckily, luckily we were able to go and SSH into the Oregon State University servers because I was a student at that time. So I had access to those GPUs. So occasionally when I didn't have access, like I couldn't reach the servers, I would have to try to do it on my local, and that was terrible. But now I don't have access to those servers. Why am I like this? Oh my goodness. Okay, so another thing that I need to do is concepts I need to review here is when I start up my system, make this isn't like this is more of an implementation thing, right? Like, never mind. I don't want to do this. Okay, what am I trying to do here? Because of how Docker interprets a change, occasionally skips over this command. Port mismatch, double check your curl. Okay. Bring down. Okay, let's just do this. Okay. So now, rebuild without using cache. Okay. So we'll see about that. But I think this does not affect the... Okay, so... Okay, here's one thing that I need to investigate. How does Docker cache interact with Docker volumes? Okay, yeah, that's a good question, actually. So I'm gonna try to do see if this works, and then if not, what I'm gonna do is, okay, so now try this. So now do my startup script and then do the curl command. So port 5000, what is my compose saying? This 5000 goes to my .NET server. 5001 goes to 5000, okay. So I should, my curl command, since it's the host machine, should be 5001. Let's make sure that that's correct. 5001 to test, yeah. Although, is it localhost? Yeah, I think it would be localhost because it's this IP address, which is, but then this port, which uh, that container has taken over. So I think that's correct. Like this.好吧，那我真的不知道，我真的不知道，好吧。Okay, so I'm just gonna go paste you there. I'm not having much faith in it right now. I think I am going to need to go and review the concepts. Oh my gosh, did it? I can't believe I did that, but okay. All right, so is it going? I have no idea. I don't know if it's slow or just not going, right? Like, okay. So while the, wait, hold on. What is this random curl coming? Why do I have a, all right, so now I'm gonna have, awesome. My computer is already running really slow, so let's make it run even slower. Let's see if it crashes. Sometimes when I was making a video, this was in the last project, and I was trying to do like semantic search, or not the last video, it was the last project, so video series. It was the one. It's on my YouTube channel. It is the ad server, and when I was trying to do a semantic search, it kept crashing my computer while I was filming a video. So that was really fun. Um, okay, I don't think that this is working. Um, let's just close you, and then I should be able to do docker ps. I want to see what containers I'm running. Docker compose down, and then I'll do docker ps, and it should be nothing. Okay, good. So now my system should be a little bit faster because I want to make sure that I'm running correctly. Okay, so now I'm going to come in here, and this is the one, this is my LLM monitor. Why do I have this random... Like, can I just delete you? I guess, I don't know. Okay. Concepts I need to, that was just that one line. Okay, fine. I just want to make sure that I'm, okay. So from here is I have changed a lot in my project, specifically regarding how I attempt to start up my project with a new test script. Okay, test start up sh, and have multiple Docker containers which all interact with each other. So what I'm going to try to do right now is I want it to evaluate my project and then be able to give me documentation for this right here. So I have documentation, and I have 4 folders. So code reviews, concepts, documentation, skills gap analysis, and targeted implementation. And so I might actually add an extra one, which would be like fixes, or maybe that's code review. Um, uh, uh, I think it's okay for right now, but I wanted to add documentation in all of this and be able to have it where I can actually view where I am missing concepts. So let's come back to here, interact with each other. I realized that I am really weak regarding... Oh, actually, one of the other things that I want to change in my persona, no, in this one, no, this is the readme, sorry. Where's my Claude? Here it is. Claude. Okay. Any of the actual code. Feel free to create any of this folders within the documentation folder. And then I'll say, also feel free to update my persona.md file when you find new information about me which you think will be helpful to capture. My persona.md is a living document which keeps a holistic idea of who I am, my current state, my goals, and the projects which I have worked on, and the skills which those projects demonstrate. Okay. I use this persona.md file in many projects, including one which gives the agent an understanding of my situation so we can think of ideas for projects and other things I need to do to accomplish my goals, like getting into Microsoft as a software engineer. Okay, there we go. So now what I'm going to do is try to go to Claude and say I'm realizing that I'm really weak regarding Docker. Specifically understanding all of the ways which images, containers, volumes, caches, Docker compose files, my startup scripts, etc. interact. So I really do want in here to have another folder, and I might call this like AI suggested, maybe like AI suggested what do I want this to? AI suggestions. Okay, but now I need to have this and come in here and say AI suggestions. In here should, and what do I actually want to do? Should be where you give me suggestions on how I can improve my system. Feel free to give code examples, right? Like, feel free to give code examples within the markdown files you generate to show me what you are talking about, because we already told it like not to generate any actual code here, so I want to make sure that it knows like, yeah, you're allowed to show me code snippets, right? Okay, so the documents, the markdown files, okay, files you put in this folder will be to what? Help me get my system working if there are huge problems, or if there are problems. Let's just say problems. If there are problems, right? That's going to be one thing that you're going to do. The second thing is notes about if you think I am going about something with bad architecture, or if my way of implementing the system is not up to industry standards. Okay. And what else? Okay. This document allows me to get help with my system and get it working, but still allows me to learn every single thing which needs to be done, because it is not done for me. I still need to explicitly implement all of the steps which you tell to me. Okay, right? And then I'll say in the markdown file. So I'm going to be having Claude generate all of these So right now I've given it a lot of state value, meaning like I've done a lot within both my LangChain and my server, and also Docker. So there's three things that are kind of like a lot of information which Claude can digest and put into these documentation folders. So now I'm going to have like the AI suggestions, which now I'm writing the rules for that, but then the code review, which I've already written the rules for, right? Concepts documentation, skills gap analysis, and targeted implementation, stuff like that. So I'm going to have it go and generate documents for all of those. So in the markdown file, oh, and the other thing that I want to say is, yeah, just let it, I hope that it knows that this means like you can edit it at any time. You can edit this persona.md file at any time if you see that information that a change would be helpful regardless of if the user explicitly asks in their prompt. Okay, cool. So now in the markdown file, give step by step instructions to the developer on how to implement the solutions. Okay, cool. All right, there we go. So now what we're going to do is continue to have it go here. But I do need to git add here. Right, okay, cool. Git commit. So before I send that to Claude, I want to just commit this so that we have all of this, you know, just like packaged up nicely, and trying to commit in a good rhythm. So -m, it also helps because it makes your little GitHub shine bright, which, okay, anyways. So git commit, added new documentation folder for Claude evaluation and updated .md file to give instructions on how to use that file, that folder, on how to interact with documents in that folder. Okay. Okay, so now we're come here. Finally, we might be able to do this. Okay, so I realize I'm really weak in here. And then I'll say some things that I noticed is that maybe I should tell it to look here, right? Like, okay, so I'll say my Docker. Okay, so I'll just say I am Again, this should be more of an implementation node. So current issue. Okay. I am able to start up my system with Docker or with test start up sh. I think it is working, but I realized that I am really struggling to understand. So this is actually, okay, I think I'm going to put multiple things in different, or the same thing in multiple different documents. And the reason that I want to do that, let me take another sip of, I probably shouldn't be drinking coffee at 7, but you know, whenever you're doing these YouTube videos, your throat just gets like really dry. Okay, so I'm going to be putting the same thing in multiple different documents. And the reason for that is because I want this timeline implementation notes to be more of like like once I put something in there, I don't want to change it. It's going to be a timeline documentation of everything. This other folder is concepts I need to review. This one's going to be more of a living document where I am deleting things, I'm taking things out, etc. So actually what I think I'm going to do is go like this. I'm going to do this. I'll show you what I mean. Where did it go? Okay. Nope. Like this. Struggling to understand what is actually happening. I feel that that I am just randomly, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Claude go and I'm going to even point it to this file, and that will give it more of my explicit questions, right? And then I'm going to have it also analyze the project and get its evaluation as well. So, okay, I am just randomly doing the commands, but I don't know how to troubleshoot at all because I don't understand the system, the actual Docker system, which is being built up right now. Okay. Okay. So I'll say, and then gaps I found in myself while trying to do this section. Okay. So now current status of the system. And this is all before we even do a single command to Claude. We're just trying to set up the system so that it has all of the correct context. Okay, so current status of the system is going to be that I am able to run my test start up.sh. Oh, another thing. Geez, I just keep like bouncing back and forth, back and forth. Another thing is here, do not change any of the code. You are allowed to run the code and test it out. You can start up Docker containers and run scripts. Just not allowed to make any changes to the code or scripts. Let's see. But running things in a way that will not change it to get a better understanding and querying the system is acceptable. Okay. So now where was I here? Okay, so I'm able to run the test startup script, and this is going to go off screen, so I need to come here. There we go. When I do so, I am getting this. So what is my thing that I do here? This is .NET Run. This is not what I want. Okay, so let's just run all of the things, right? I'm gonna come here and we want to run the test startup script, right? Come here, and that way we're able to capture it right there. Okay. Okay. So I'm getting this, all right? Go like that, and then do, then when I attempt to hit my LangChain Flask container with a curl command of this, I am getting a response of here. Okay, so now I should be able to come in here and just copy all of this like that. paste that in there. Okay. So now, getting a response of this. So now I want to copy and paste this here, paste in there. Okay, so this is like that. And then I'll say like this. And then now I can move myself. There we go. And then the system freezes. I have no idea if it is working or not. My computer is really old. I'll just say really weak. It's not old, but weak. MacBook Air M1 chip. So I don't know if it is just that the LLM is taking a really long time, or if something is broken in my system. I then go to the Docker logs and do this. Okay, so now I'm going to come in here and okay, I was hoping that I would have the Docker logs command right there. What is this? Where is that command? Here, this one. So I do this, right? And I get a response of all of this. Of this. Okay. So now I've described the state of my system, and I'm still trying to describe kind of what my problems, right? Okay. And now I want to just get rid of the Docker containers. So Docker compose down, just get rid of them. So that way my system is bigger or like faster. I just wanted to do that so that we would be able to, get the troubleshooting telemetry that we needed to give so that we could provide the correct context. So, okay. I'm surprised that my computer is still recording. Like, I was expecting to essentially run out of memory before this. But anyways. Okay, so because I don't feel that I understand the actual system. Okay. That kind of encapsulates it, right? Okay. So then the other thing that I did, so this one will be, I'll say this is like gaps in Docker, and then this one will be gaps in LangChain. But I don't really know. I don't know what I don't know yet, right? Like, I'll say I know that eventually I am going to need to integrate a lot of I actually don't know what I want to say here. Okay. Can you give a more concise summary of the current state of my system? Like this. Paste that in there. Okay. Let's see if that takes long. I don't know why my system is so slow. I mean, obviously I do. It's not very powerful, but it's like, look at this. I paste. See, there we go. Okay. It's so incredibly slow. So I'm going to go and, okay. Is not locked up, isn't crashing there. Okay. I want a sentence or paragraph that I can copy and paste into one of my markdown files on this project, which is a timeline.md, to keep track of the current state of my system at each day. So with the information can you give me a summary? Like that. Okay. So now, okay. Is that kind of what I want? So we already have the time, right? Like I group it by time. Okay, so current issue is system status complete end-to-end back-end orchestration successfully validated. I don't know about that. Completely validated. The Docker Compose network stack builds and fires up cleanly with no layer caching artifacts. Okay. Model is successfully pulled. Okay. So I am going to say like this. Current issue. Current status, maybe? Okay. And then just like say, this is the status according to Gemini. Okay. But I don't know if it is correct. Okay, like that. And now I can do issues I am struggling with to understand. This, and now copy all of this over. So essentially just this. And this will need to be a third one. Okay. So from here, I should be able to, I know that eventually I'm going to maybe get rid of this right now. Okay, so I don't even, what am I've done so much. Updating system status information. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, okay, so some things that I noticed that I am struggling with, in Docker, I attempted to note down in, what did I call it? Concepts I need to, here. Concepts I need to review.md. But I am guessing that there are a lot of other topics within Docker that I completely don't know about at all. Okay. So then, so do I want it to do everything regarding Docker, or have it do Docker plus LangChain? Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is then today was the first day that I attempted to actually use LangChain. Okay. I am wanting to get a full understanding of how LangChain works. The LangChain works and how I should integrate everything together. So I wanted to generate a document. I want 2 concepts documentation, right? I want 2 concepts documentation. Okay. Maybe I'll do this later. I'll do this at a different command. I want to say look at my project. Then follow the rules in claude.md and generate complete and extensive documents in each of those documents folder I have. Okay. Look at my project here. Analyze the state. I'll just say analyze everything and then generate. Okay, I think that's good. So we'll have it do that, and it'll go and have fun with that document there, right? And then once we do that, it'll generate. I should have also said like about LangChain, like just told it that okay, I don't feel like I quite did that correct, but this is one of the first times that I'm actually like working like collaboratively with an AI, because normally I try to do things very much like by myself. So it's more of a learning opportunity for how to operate with AI agents as well. Okay, so see what commands it's doing. So that way we can kind of learn like what is it doing. There's now an AI section. Yep. Okay. So what script are we running? So we're going into here and then we're running a bash shell script. Okay. And we are, okay. So echoing, okay. So, whoa, what are you searching on the web? Okay, so including the, okay. Deploy containers using Azure Kubernetes. Ooh, okay, wow, lots. Here I have a full diagnosis and the research. Okay, now writing all 5 documents, 1 per folder, getting the timestamp. Okay. So then the next thing is I'm going to have it look at, I'm just going to have it do another concepts documentation. Okay, so then I'm going to have it do another concepts documentation. So it's going to create one in all of these. And then I'm going to have it do an extra one in concepts documentation specifically for LangChain and how to integrate everything together. All of the vector databases that I'm going to need, all of the like how to do a reg, how to do all of that stuff. So that's going to be another document that I'm going to do soon once this finishes. Do I have just plain water? Yes. Okay, good. All right. And then from here, what I'm going to do, so it's going to generate a whole bunch of stuff, right? And then I'll be able to come in here and refresh this. And it hasn't created the documents and I haven't pushed anything yet, obviously. But I'll be able to go into the documentation and then look at this and be able to be like, oh, okay. Well, this is for like what technologies and frameworks I should add to this project for my goal of getting into Microsoft, But actually, let's go to the other one. Let's go to skills documentation, right? Like this was added yesterday. So talking about like what it sees my problems are, and it analyzes what my problems and gaps in my knowledge are, and then creates a lecture markdown file to help me, to teach me the concepts which I am lacking. So that's this one right here. And then I can go through this and just read it, try to understand everything in this document. And then I can go forward with the project with a lot more confidence because now I understand the concepts. Okay, so looks like it got that, the first one, right? Okay, so concepts documentation, good. All right. So this might take a little while, because I told it to go and make sure that it's extensive because obviously I want as much information as I can with it. So yeah. And then the next command that I will do is just say, now generate another full concepts document teaching me all of the things which I might need to know. Need to know in order to be able to move forward with my planned implementations for LangChain. Specifically the ones that I can think of right now is adding a vectorized database, PG vector, and then say which will need to be a separate Docker container. Then I need to integrate that. Did it finish? No. Okay, good. I just saw that this was, it says Q, so okay, cool. Okay, so now the targeted implementation research doc on container skills for Microsoft. So it's going and looking for, trying to see like what Microsoft wants. Okay, so then I need to integrate that Docker, that vectorized database into my Python file and be able to actually use it. I want to be able to create a rag. I want to be able to create a rag MCP. What else do I want to do? Gather telemetry data. Gather telemetry data. Eventually utilize MQTT for like, okay, so I don't know how I'm going to do that one yet. Gather data. Guard against attacks use lang graph and implement all of the other suggestions which you have already given to me on what I should learn and integrate into this project. Create the full lecture for me so that I can understand and confidently build the entire system. Okay, but before I do that, okay, so I did all of this. Did it change my persona? I want to know. No, it did not. Okay. So, commit law generated documentation on concepts I need to review and learn. Okay. All right, so now that we did that, now we can run this command and have it do that. And then once this is done, I am going to take a break, probably go for a walk, and then I need to do maybe more leak code, I don't know, or go through those documents. I'll figure out something that I need to do. But yeah, so cool. Once again, I feel like today was we made a lot of progress, I feel, but I was hoping to be able to go more into like LangChain itself, but we keep getting bogged down with like Docker and all of the, all of that stuff. So hopefully we'll be able to get it just running and everything working, but as you see, like right here, like I still haven't even gotten this working yet. So it just feels like there's so much that we need to do. Come on, come on, come on. I just want to go to sleep. Faster, faster, faster. All right, 10,000 characters. Woohoo! Nice. Okay. 16,000. 17,000. Okay, so the document folder, this is like my homework, right? Kind of like homework, review homework. So I have a lot of homework, I guess. This one document, this single document is 21,000 words. And there's so much in here that I haven't looked at yet, so I need to go through all of that because we just generated like 5 documents like 20 seconds ago, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we just generated 5 new ones, so I need to go through all of those, understand. Okay, looks like it. Okay, so it created that. Okay, cool. So created the document. I think it's done now. Okay, cool. So I am going to commit this, push it, and then take a break. So it's just giving me all of the things which it's, okay, cool. Awesome. So let's come here. Git add status, git commit generated documentation on LangChain concepts I need to study. All right, and then we can go look at that once it pushes out. Okay, so now concepts documentation and this one right here. Okay, so here it is, right? So all of this. So we'll have to, or I will have to go through all of this, understand what's happening, and then from that, hopefully that looks a little bit better when you make it bigger. Is it? Where'd you go? I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go through all of this, try to understand it, and then yeah, then I can move forward with this with the project. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, subscribe. That would be awesome, and we can do this. We could do it together. Yeah. So okay. Yeah, thank you for watching. My name is Timothy Lee Grant. I will see you guys in the next video, and have a good day. There we go.